out this guy. He's the world record holder for the most pull-ups in 24 hours. Today, Mark Jordan is trying to break a new record right here on our show. And if you can hang on, pardon the pun, you keep going, I'll tell you the fantastic reason why. But first, meet the National Geographic Explorer who traveled the world and learned about the world's longest living people. Today, Dan Buettner is going to spill the secrets from places where people live to 100.
What's the secret to a longer, healthier, happier life? Dan Buettner thinks he has the answer. Buettner discovered places where people lived longer than anywhere else, up to 12 years longer. He tagged these places blue zones and then set about researching their secrets in terms of health, nutrition, and lifestyle. Like Okinawa, Japan, and Sardinia, Italy, where an astounding number of residents lived to the age of 100. And Ikaria, Greece, where he found 20% lower rates of cancer, 50% lower rates of heart disease, and almost no dementia. Buettner used these blue zone practices to create a longevity blueprint, putting them into practice to improve lives around the globe. Places like Albert Lea, Minnesota, America's first city to go blue zone, losing a collective 12,000 pounds, slashing healthcare costs, and adding nearly 3 years to projected lifespans. And California, where after 2 years of blue zoning, 3 beach cities saw a 30% decline in smoking rates and a 14% drop in obesity, proving small shifts in how we eat, drink, move, and think can create large changes in our health, happiness, and how long we live. Today, Dan shares his secrets from the places where people live to be 100 and beyond.
Dan Buettner is here now. He says that the secret to living longer is not just about the choices we make. That's surprising today.
We tend to think of discipline and individual responsibility, but actually, if you look at these spry centenarians, none of them were ever trying to live to be 100. They never got on that difficult diet or bought the Stairmaster for their basement or called an 800 number for supplements. Longevity happened to them. They lived in places where the culture made the healthy choice for them. And that's what we're doing around America right now in 23 cities.
Well, just to point out, it's spry centenarians. A lot of people say, I don't want to live to age 100. But these are people who are 100, but they look like they're 60. They're vital.
So the reality is the longer you've lived, the healthier you've been. So these 100-year-olds tend to live a long time and die pretty quickly. And part of the secret is they live in the right community. They create their own blue zones. We now know that if your 3 best friends are obese and unhealthy, there's about a 150% better chance that you'll be overweight yourself. So it's about building the right community around yourself, your own little blue zone.
How do you do that?
Well, we believe in creating circles of friends around healthy activities. So in our blue zone cities, we create plant-based potlucks and walking clubs. And it's not so much about the healthy eating, it's about the friendships, because we know friendships last a long time. Right. And if you're hanging out with healthy friends, you're more likely to be healthy yourself. There
are some concrete things that we as individuals need to do to get to age 100, and Dan makes these arguments all the time when he talks about the blue zones. The first is to eat like you're in a blue zone.
Yes, so for this blue zone solution, we actually distilled 155 dietary surveys from around the world to get the most definitive longevity diet ever done, I believe. And the big secret here is they eat mostly plant-based diet. About 90% of their calories come from plants. We call it plant slant. And the big winners, the longevity winners, are whole grains, actually a high-carb diet. Remember, both lollipops and lentils are carbohydrates, but it's those complex carbohydrates.
Yeah, they're voting for lollipops back there, but we'll talk about that later.
Is that in their grab bag? No. But whole grains, snack on nuts, which I know you do, but the big winner, which you should be prescribing your whole audience, the number 1 supplement is beans. The longevity cornerstone, the cornerstone of every longevity diet around the world is about a cup of beans every single day. All kinds of beans. They're very high in protein, no saturated fat, and pound for pound, they have as much protein as meat, but 1/5 the cost. So everybody can afford them.
Let's meet Capri. She's over here. Coming over. Now, Capri says that she doesn't like veggies, doesn't like beans. She's just not a player in this. What gives, Caprice?
Hello. Well, I think I need some help. My refrigerator is a mess, and I just need to know how to live forever, and you're going to show me how to organize it, right?
So if it is true, and I think a lot of people will have to agree, we fight the battle in our fridge. I didn't realize reorganizing it was a big part of this puzzle, but you say it is.
Yeah. Instead of making you remember the right foods to eat, I'd rather have your refrigerator set up so it's easy, and that's a big secret, because if you organize it once, it's done right in the first place. So I look over here, and there's a lot of good things, but there's a few things I'd change right away.
Before you change anything, I'm going to point out a couple things. It's cluttered. It's really busy in here. I see the soda pop immediately.
Yes.
Describe why it's so important, this issue of eye-level food.
Right. You're 2.5 times more likely to eat the food at eye level. So if you take these empty calories.
Well, I have a quick question. I don't see the soccer ball, so is this really my
That's his freezer.
That's exactly.
But you take these empty, I would say take them out of the refrigerator altogether, but if you're going to drink them, put them out of sight and take some of these blue zones foods. By the way, greens, we found that people in Greece who eat greens every day live about 4 years longer, and their brains are 10 years younger. Cauliflower. In Okinawa, it's a big fallacy. Okinawa, women live about 17 years longer than the world average. They eat more tofu than any place else. So now they're at eye level, and you're 2.5 more times likely to eat it. And you don't have to remember not to eat the junk food. This is going to be the easy choice.
Awesome.
Just to point out also, you're leaving space in between these. Is that on purpose?
Yeah, so a cluttered refrigerator, like the second shelf here, you're going to eat more junk food mindlessly. So every week, cleaning out your refrigerator and putting a little bit of space between foods, and don't stack them. You want a nice spare refrigerator full of love.
My sons probably won't cooperate. What do I do then?
You're in charge of your refrigerator.
I am in charge. You tell them that.
But think about this. Even if you've got kids who fight with you, this is a fairly straightforward thing to do.
Yes.
Space out the food, put the good stuff at eye level, get rid of this, debunk this myth that you mentioned about having the best foods in the crisper.
That's what I was taught. Yeah.
And make them dig for the junk.
Dig for the junk.
Thank
Can
you.
I keep my chocolate bars there?
Eat your beans.
Thank you.
Eat your beans. All right, next. Dan wants everyone to downshift for 20 minutes a day. 20 minutes a day. Now, why is this such a critical issue? I guess they're downshifting in front of me here, right?
Right. So stress, a huge killer. Stress is at the root of every age-related disease, heart attack. It actually shrinks your brain. It actually makes you wrinkled. So that's something you really want to. In blue zones, we see they're taking about 20 minutes a day. In blue zones, they do things like prayer and meditation. But here, doing your nails, those are beautiful, by the way.
I see that.
Chilling out in something that relaxes you, get your heart rate down, get your cortisol levels down is a great idea. 20 minutes a day, better than any pill you could take.
And the people who need this advice the most don't have 20 minutes a day.
They should take 40 minutes. No, the reality is, you think about it. You spend a few minutes every single day. The payoff is a longer, healthier life, and you feel better from day to day. If you're de-stressed, you're going to be more efficient. You're going to enjoy your day more. It's just putting the horse before the cart instead of the other way around.
All right, let's move to one major tip that's easy for everyone to follow. It's the last secret of the blue zones, is to make 5 p.m. wine and dine time.
Another good way to down.
Finally got applause.
So, first, I'll tell you a few secrets about wine, by the way. If you're drinking, if you're a moderate drinker, you're probably living longer than if you're not drinking at all. I would say the secret is red wine, and especially if you're drinking red wine with a plant-based or a blue zone diet, because you about triple the flavonoid or the nutrient uptake. So red wine, Mediterranean blue zone diet, it's 1 + 1 = 3. So you got them here. Nuts, olives, apricots, dates. These are perfect happy hour foods.
And plus, it gets you to 20 minutes at worst with community.
Right.
Dan, cheers to you.
All right,
congratulations. Let's come over here and toast to Mark.
Let's toast to Mark.
So, Mark, this is there. Mark's 54-year-old, my age, knocked out a staggering 4,321 pull-ups in 24 hours. You heard me right. 4,321 pull-ups in one day. They have challenged him to do 300 pull-ups within this hour-long show. And if he succeeds, our trusted partner, Omron Healthcare, is going to donate $10,000 to his charity of choice. So how's it hanging? You're hanging, I see.
Yeah, it's hanging pretty well. Thanks for asking.
So what charity are you pulling for?
The American Heart Association.
Are you guys picking up my puns here? Charity that you're pulling for, how's it hanging? Well, I'll tell you what, if you can pull this off, you can have a little wine, might help you.
These curls are easier.
That's right.
Yes.
If you can pull this off, I'm sure you can. We're going to come back and keep checking on you. We're going to get that $10,000 to the American Heart from Omron.
That's great.
God bless you
Excited
for
to
doing
do
it.
it.
brother.
Thank you.
We'll be right back.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss out on new videos to live the good life.